Every entrepreneur wants to reach their full human potential. Every entrepreneur I've ever met, including myself, thinks that they can usually do just a little bit more, that they have just a little bit more in them to succeed more, in them to help more people, in them to make a bigger impact. Whatever it is, if they want to reach their full potential, I have found there's 4 areas to focus on. And if you focus on these 4 areas, fulfillment is going to be something that is inevitable. And at the end of the video, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to tell you action steps that you can do to implement in these 4 areas to find success even faster. But we have to define what they are first. And the key component is I talk all the time about the high performance life. And when I say life, I define life by L is love, I is impact, F is faith, and E is energy. Now, I want to define this in a way that helps people understand why this matters. Reaching your full potential as an entrepreneur means that you have to pay attention to these 4 categories. Why are they important? First of all, let's start with love. The Beatles said love is all you need, and they were right. At the end of the day, when you start with the who in your life, who starts to matter really, really heavily. See, when you're an entrepreneur and you want to reach your full potential and you want to feel fulfilled, not just reaching potential in your business, but real fulfillment in life, it requires love. It requires identifying the who's. Who are the people you're surrounding yourself with every day? Who are the people that make you better? Who are the people that you work with best every day? The who behind success versus the how, right? It starts with who, and if you have the right who's in your life, everything else is better. Relationships matter. And because relationships matter, if you develop the right who's, fulfillment is inevitable. You will feel great about all of your relationships. You'll feel better in your partnerships with business. You'll feel better in your marriage. You'll feel better all around. And being fulfilled is understanding that you've identified the who's that are most important. Are they most important to the task of the business? Are they most important to feeling better about where your time goes? See, who is a great starting point because it can actually level you up without you even paying attention to it. If you're surrounded by people that make you better every day, you'll be better every day. If you're surrounded by people and humans that drive you to be more successful, you'll be more successful. If you're around people that complain all the time, you'll be a complainer. You'll feel negative. You'll feel that energy, the bad kind, right? The who's can set the recipe for success right out of the gate. So identifying love, where are you going to put your love? Where are you're going to love the people that are around you? Who are they? And how can we get more of them in our lives? The next is impact. And with impact, I really define it with what? What is it that you do that lights you up? What is the thing that you're doing every single day that's making an impact? It's for entrepreneurs, it's your job usually, right? It's your career. And you do it because you love it, which is important, but it's your what? It's what you're good at. And if you're doing more of what you're good at, and you're investing in what lights you up the most, you're building towards your strengths, your what becomes something that everybody wants to know about. If it's a product, it's because you believe it's going to change the world. If it's a service, it's because you believe that what you provide helps people at a larger impact than anything else that's out there. Being an entrepreneur and reaching that fulfillment level is about knowing what it is that you're delivering upon and what it is that you're impacting more people on every single day. Your what can be anything from the what I call the habit of daily impact, just making a small impact of kindness on people every single day. Maybe that's all you're trying to do, and what you do isn't as important. Maybe it's the other way around, where what you do actually is making that impact for other people. See, the what is really, really important to define when you're trying to identify human potential. Because who has been defined, now what we're doing is defined, and it's leading us in a pattern of success. A level of opportunity to just be self-aware enough to know that the top boxes are the areas where we've identified the who and the what, help us move forward towards the common goal. The high performance life, reaching our full potential, really is impactful when you know what you're doing is making a difference. But what is that? If you haven't defined that, if you can't clearly see that, that's a challenge. The next is faith, and this is a big one. So this can mean a lot of things to different people, but I'm gonna start small. Faith is your why. Start with why is not something you haven't heard 1,000 times, right? But why are you doing what you're doing? And let's start small. Start small with maybe why you're doing it as an entrepreneur is to have more financial freedom. Maybe it's to provide a better life for your family. Maybe it's to make a bigger impact like we talked about just a minute ago. Maybe it's to leave a legacy, to both live one and leave one so that you leave the world a better place than the way you found it. Maybe your why is more faithful and more of a bigger picture, and it's to serve God, to serve something bigger than yourself. I don't know where you need to start, but what I can tell you is if you want to reach your human potential as an entrepreneur, it starts with understanding where your faith is going every day and your why. If you're doing something bigger than yourself and you're helping people every single day, guess what? It becomes easy to show up. You will reach your full potential because you'll want to. When you're doing something for other people, that's when you start to reach your full potential. If your why is all about you, all about the car you want to drive, all about the dollar amount you want in your bank account, all about all the emptiness, the smoke that exists in the world, you're never going to reach your human potential. But if you make it about something bigger, a bigger why, you're going to be reaching it every day, and you're going to be reaching a new level every single day. And the other stuff comes. The other stuff will come. You will meet entrepreneurs that have hit a level of success, and I don't care where they're at, it will come, and they will have this peak experience. They'll win the gold medal in the Olympics. They'll win an Oscar. They'll win the business of the year in their community, father of the year, whatever the award is, entrepreneur of the year. And it will feel empty the minute it's over because it's just smoke. But with a why, it's something bigger. With a why, it doesn't stop. It keeps going. Faith is one of the most powerful things that you can have in anyone and anything. And if you acknowledge that, it's empowering to your mission. Last is your energy. This is huge. Entrepreneurs have to know where their energy is going. And this is your how you do it, how you show up. You are the energy you put out into the world. And if you have no energy or low energy, you are not reaching your full potential. Entrepreneurs must know, anyone must know, that how they show up every single day starts with them, how they feel, how they look, how they actually are able to think. Mental, physical, heart. These are all the things that are valuable when it comes to energy. A healthy you is a healthier version that will be more successful. Here's an example, a story. I know this about myself. I put out a lot of energy in everything I do. I have to build my day around how to be most successful so I don't burn out too early in the day. And the older I get, unfortunately, I recognize this about myself. The level of energy I have might be a little less than I had, but if I actually put the recipe together the right way, it's actually more impactful, stronger than anything I was doing in my 20s. Me in my 40s is a stronger version of myself because I know how to use the energy I have to my best ability. I'm able to feed myself with a way to be more impactful. The energy I put out in the world is maybe sometimes in shorter spurts, but more impactful. And I've done this by understanding and being self-aware of my body, of my brain, of my mental capacity. See, this is a very personal thing. Health, energy, in general is personal. It's about you, knowing your body. We see this all the time. Everybody tries to live up to someone else's body, someone else's goals for health, someone else's energy level. Well, I can tell you, there are things that I love to be better at, and most of them aren't what I'm actually great at now. And understanding that is really okay. So your why is important, but now we've gone to the how. How you show up every day to provide the faith in the why on the foundational level, the bottom portion, is really important to everything else you do. Your energy level matters to the who's in your life. If you can't show up and be in shape, how good are you to your kids if that's your most important who? How good is it to your business if you're tired and lazy every single day because you're not feeding yourself with the right energy? Maybe your addictions get in the way of who you want to be and who you want to serve and why you're doing it. I don't know what it is, but I know we've all battled with all these things in our lives, and the reality is now it's time to take action. How do we actually execute? I promised you at the beginning of this video we'd define it, and now I'm going to provide you the action. Here's the action steps, the quick, easy action steps to reach that full potential. Action step number 1, take inventory of the who's in your life. Who matters most? Every single year I write down a list of people I want to spend more time with in my life. Every single year I identify who I may spend less time with that I devoted a ton of time to in the previous year. I'm not afraid to identify the most important who's in my life, and by doing so, I will feel more fulfilled every single day. Action step 1 is identifying who they are. One of the most powerful things I've learned in business is how to take my business 10 times. And it doesn't start with me. It starts with the who's around me. Who can actually elevate my game? Who can do something better than me? Stop focusing on the how first, start focusing on the who's first. Number 1. Number 2 is your what, and your what starts with building around your strengths. Identify what it is that you do best and do more of it every single day. If you're not doing more of what you're great at and you consistently do what you're not great at over and over and over again every single day, the action step is moot. This action step is all about identifying what you do great and doing more of it. And guess what? It will be amazing how you will fulfill the success of what you were meant to do every single day more and more. An example of this is that the more I focus in my business on the things that I'm great at and the more others do the same, we as a team rise together at a 10-time rate. Period. If we're all focusing on doing things we're not great at, it's a recipe for failure. So number 2 is defining what you're great at and leaning into it more and more every single day. Number 3 is the why. We started with the small why when we built out why. The small why might be financial freedom or doing more for your family. What's your end game? This why, this action step is about identifying that you will die, that you will actually no longer be here at some point in time in the future. And the reality is, why are you doing it? What is your big why? Start to define the big why and everything else gets easier. But why are you doing what you're doing? I heard this the other day and it's very impactful to me. Every single person will die twice. They will die first the day they leave this earth, and they will die a second time when their name is no longer mentioned. If you think of life as permanent, you're failing yourself. Think of life as something that is not permanent, and you will succeed beyond all belief. Belief in yourself, belief in what other people think you can do, understanding that this life is only a short time will make you do things with a little bit more urgency, a little more impact. Defining the big why really helps you live a better life. And if you don't think that will help you be more fulfilled, you're missing the point. The last thing is an energy. And this is a healthy you will be a better you. So here's the action step. The action step is there is one thing you're doing right now that is actually hurting you on an exponential level when it comes to health and energy. Identify that. What is it? And change it. Change it today. Change it now. What's the one thing, the most important thing when it comes to your health, your energy? And for some of you, it might be mental. For some of you, it might be mindset. For some of you, it might be weight. For some of you, it might be, the combination of just not eating right every single day and feeling like garbage every day when you wake up. But the reality is, what's one thing you can change right now? What's the action step you can take right now that will be a lifestyle change, not just a healthy change? What's that one thing? Every single one of these action items is exponential. This is a secret. The secret is if you do these 4 action items, you have not made singular, small changes in your life. You have made exponential difference in not only your life, but every single person you serve, everyone you come in contact with. This is how you reach the full fulfillment as an entrepreneur, as a human, as anybody trying to succeed in life. Follow those 4 action steps and tell me that you're not happier, healthier, wealthier, and loving your life in a better way. Thanks for watching. Like, share, comment. Tell us why this video matters to you and help us get the word out. And if you like videos like this, watch this next.